Hello, second graders. Today's book is called Princess Penelope's Parrot. This is another book by Helen Lester and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. So the parrot is on top of Penelope's birthday cake. So that might tell you that it's one of her birthday presents. So some parrots learn how to talk. They repeat what their owners say. Let's read to find out what Penelope's parrot learns to say. Princess Penelope's birthday was always a big occasion, and this year was no exception. Penelope's dress had ruffles on its ruffles on its ruffles. Her presents were fabulous. Rollerblades studded with jewels, a bathing suit woven from rare peacock feathers, and a 16-wheeler. The cake was 7 layers high and made with genuine llama's butter. The top of the cake was decorated with a golden cage. Within that golden cage was a beautiful parrot. "Gimme," said Princess Penelope, but her mouth was still stuffed with cake. "Gimme, gimme, gimme." Quickly, her servants stood one on top of the other, plucked the golden cage from the top of the cake, and presented it. So, what are you thinking about Princess Penelope? Do you think she's spoiled? When people say someone is spoiled, that means that they often get their way all the time or get whatever they want. "Mine," said the princess. "Mine, mine, mine." Dribbling cake crumbs, she zoomed off to her chamber with the cage. Then she waited for the parrot to say something. The parrot said nothing. "Talk, big beak," demanded Princess Penelope. The parrot said nothing. "Speak or I'll rattle your cage." The parrot said nothing, and Princess Penelope grew annoyed. "All righty then, I'll put you on a ball and chain." The parrot looked miserable, but said nothing. Gritting her teeth, the princess hissed, "Look, bird brain, I'm about to pluck your feathers out one by one." Still, the parrot said nothing. Furious, Princess Penelope marched right up to the cage, stared at the parrot, nose to beak, and yelled, "Why don't you just get lost, knothead?" Okay, so is Penelope being kind to her parrot? What do you think? But the parrot did not get lost. It stood in silence, nibbling forlornly on the precious few bird seeds the princess flicked its way. Princess Penelope glared at the parrot, snarling, "Stupid buzzard!" One day, Princess Penelope received a message from young Prince Percival. He would be stopping by her palace on his way to build sandcastles at the beach. Although they never met before, Princess Penelope had long ago decided that she would marry Prince Percival when she grew up. He was the richest prince in the land. Not just a little rich, but rich, rich, rich. She'd have diamonds sparkling from every toe and finger, and a crown so heavy it would fold her ears. The most precious of silks would cloak her right up to her royal nose. Maybe her royal nose would even have a golden ring. She would make hundreds of lists for her servants. Then she'd settle back on her velvet pillows to eat caviar cones and watch a 20-foot TV all day long. But enough dreaming. Now she must get ready. She wanted to make a fine impression on the prince. She chose her poofiest dress, arranged a new hairstyle, and struggled to get into her highest heels. Shoes, right? As she clippity-clopped about, tidying her room, leaving out only her most expensive toys, she came across the parrot. Stupid buzzard, she thought. Would the prince be impressed by this useless bird? Absolutely not. Never. So she hid the parrot behind the curtains. There, now everything was perfect. Princess Penelope put on her sweetest smile, sat upon her throne, and waited to dazzle the prince. Kalump, kalump, kalump. Princess Penelope put her hand to her ear. This must be her prince. Kalump, kalump, kalump. She could just imagine him galloping up on his fine white horse. Do you see where the parrot is hiding? What do you think will happen when the prince arrives? Kalump, kalump, kalump. Prince Percival galloped into Princess Penelope's chamber. No horse, but impressive feet and nice shoes. Whoosh! Prince Percival bowed deeply and held out a huge bouquet of roses. So, what's funny about this page? Did he actually have a horse? Excuse me. Gimme, said the parrot from behind the curtain. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Prince Percival gulped and handed over the roses. So here's something that authors use. It's difficult to see perhaps, but when authors write something in all capital letters, what that means is that they're telling the reader that the person is either feeling a very strong emotion or shouting. So in this case, it seems as though the author is trying to tell you that she is shouting, and also the parrot is now shouting. Mine, squawked the parrot. Mine, mine, mine. Prince Percival's eyebrows twitched. How could someone with such a sweet smile say such rude things? Talk, Big Beak. The prince scratched his nose and thought that just maybe he wanted to be somewhere else. So what do you think is funny in this illustration? Then the parrot screamed, Speak or I'll rattle your cage. Cage? Cage? Prince Percival felt trapped. As he moved toward the door, the parrot screeched on, All righty then, I'll put you on a ball and chain. Look, bird brain, I'm about ready to pluck your feathers out, one by one. That did it. Prince Percival bolted out the door and galloped off. Kalump, kalump, kalump. Princess Penelope followed. Clippy-clop, 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 and the parrot flapped after them both, ball and chain and all. Up and down the staircase, past the birthday present room, and through the kitchen, they calumped and clippity-clopped and flapped. As Prince Percival finally galloped out the palace door into the safety of the green fields, the parrot called out, Why don't you just get lost, knothead? Prince Percival was delighted to do so and didn't stop once until he had made it all the way to the beach. So, who does the prince think is talking? He thought that she was talking rather than the parrot, didn't he? In the palace doorway, the parrot cocked its head at Princess Penelope and cheerfully said, "Stupid buzzard!" Then it stepped out of the ball and chain and flew away. The prince and the parrot lived together happily ever after. Princess Penelope was horribly embarrassed, but she got over it, and in no time she went right to work in front of her mirror, practicing her sweetest smile, just in case the second richest prince in the land should come her way.